The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
It's homecoming this week in Orangeburg, South Carolina, as the South Carolina State Bulldogs host the Dragons of Virginia Lynchburg. You have to forgive Buddy Pough's group if they don't seem too hospitable toward the Dragons. The Bulldogs have only won one game so far this season, and if they want to play for a conference championship, their margin of error is tiny. On the other hand, the Dragons have not won in 5 games, but they won't get any sympathy from the Bulldogs or Bulldog fans here today at the Oliver C. Dawson Bulldog Stadium, Willie Jeffries Field. Is this the game that South Carolina State gets back to being the Bulldogs? We're about to find out. Coming up next on The Buddy Pough Show. Quarterback pass. Corey throws the swing. It's caught. Touchdown! South Carolina State. Outside Davis. It's a pitch into the end zone. That's Corey. Pressure coming. Got to let it go. Throws it out there. Caught! Touchdown! Brings it back anyway. South Carolina State from 16-yard out. Breaks through the 15, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Binglow Flowers. He keeps himself. Devontae Green got wrapped up and gets him on the turf. Coach, first off, it's homecoming. What about this crowd here in Orangeburg?
Well, anytime you got homecoming, you need to win a football game. You got all the alumni back and all the friends and family. Everybody worried me about tickets and all kinds of stuff. I'm glad we got a game going so I can get all that kind of stuff behind me. We can get to the game.
You're talking about getting to the game, Coach. It's important that you play well. Virginia Lynchburg's had a tough time this season, but anytime you get on the football field, anything can happen.
You're exactly right. We need to play good, though, because this leads us into our conference, and everybody – is buzzing about how well Central played, a couple nights ago. But, hey, we got no time to be thinking about that. We got to get these guys through our system, and we need to come out of it on a good, positive note so that we can go into our league, on a good, sound, positive attitude.
Talk about on a positive. The fourth quarter of last week's game, if you could somehow replicate that, Coach, how do you get the team to get that sense of urgency you had in the fourth quarter against Florida A&M?
Well, let's hope that we find, the right formula for what we've got to do to make the right kind of plays happen. We didn't finish though, Ernest. And that's the sad part of the whole deal, is after having gotten ourselves back into the daggum thing, we don't finish the game. So it's heartbreaking that you do all you got to do there to make that happen, and then couldn't quite make the whole deal come in. But I tell you what, this crowd, has that ability. You see a little light at the end of the tunnel down there. If we can make it happen on a more consistent basis, and that's what the mission is right now, then we'll be okay.
You started talking about the team, Coach. Emotionally, I don't think we will have played in front of a larger crowd at homecoming for this group. I think that's going to add some juice to your team on both sides of the football.
We hope we're looking for a wonderful crowd today, and we like to think that the excitement of it all, create some buzz in a way where it gives you a chance to get, look up and say, hey, we got to go out and play good for these folks. These guys have a wonderful opportunity to play in a place like this, and this is a chance for them to, shine in front of big crowds and a lot of noise and all that kind of stuff. This is a fun deal. This is why you come to college to play football right now. So I'm hoping that, we'll go out and play really well today in front of this crowd.
Coach, of course, if you're going to win today, you got to win both sides of the line of scrimmage. Talk about how important it is for your offensive line to get some positive things on film for them.
Our 2 captains today are Cam Johnson and Chris Simon, the 2 offensive tackles. That means we got to run the football, right? Then we come back on defense, and we got Zion Keith and DeMarcus Doe on the back end of the defense. So we got a chance to have, a real good, defensive, offensive showing. We look like we're going to be ready to play these guys today.
You talk about today. What's going to be the key to getting the win and getting out of here?
Running the football, as always, stopping the run, forcing these guys to have to throw the football. If they can do that, then I think we got a shot to be okay.
All right, Coach. Best of luck this afternoon.
All right, guys.
Zimmerman approaches. High end-over-end kick, deep kick, and this is going to be number 5. That is Eddie Dumas. Dumas tackled down right at the 20-yard line on the return. Shotgun snap back to Andrews in the end zone. Trying to get away. Andrews does get away in the end zone. We had him in the end zone. Now he goes out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Had the safety. Shotgun snap on 3rd and 11. Corey Fields throwing it down the field. It is caught. Rakim White into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina State. So with 12:21 to go here in the first quarter, Corey Fields hitting Rakim White for a score, and that makes it 7 for South Carolina State, nothing for Virginia Lynchburg. 4 receivers to the left. Now Anderson comes from the line of scrimmage into the backfield with the quarterback Dumas. Running to the right side. Dumas in trouble. Wrapped up. Jalen Barr had him, got away. Now wrapped up, brought down. Good tackle on the part of South Carolina State. Making the tackle for the Bulldogs. That was number 98, Tank Minner. Pistol formation. Give over to Kendrell Flowers. Over the left side across the 20. Kendrell pushes the power forward up to about the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 2. They give it to him again. Same play over the left side. Kendrell getting outside at the 35. Out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. Shaq to the left. Rakim to the right. Shotgun formation, Corey. Play action fake, throws it out in the flat to Shaq. This is Rakim White. White breaks free at the 25-yard line, at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Rakim White. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Our score, South Carolina State 14, Virginia Lynchburg nothing. And Bill, we talked about the Bulldogs getting back to being the Bulldogs, and we've seen that on the first 2 possessions. Dragons blitzing. They throw a screen. Jawan Moody catches it at the 40-yard line at the 35. Moody down to about the 29-yard line. Kendrell's back in and running back. They throw it out in the flat. It's caught by Rakim White. Tries to make a man miss. Breaks the tackle at the 30. Still trying to get outside. 25 still on his feet. Rakim White, Bill, running with a lot of purpose this afternoon. A 7-yard pickup. Corey's in the shotgun. Shotgun snap. Corey looking long. Throwing it out. They got Shaq Davis. Caught. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Corey Fields from 22 yards out to Shaquan Davis. So with 2:15 to go here in the first quarter, our score, South Carolina State 21, Virginia Lynchburg nothing. Back to pass. Here comes pressure. He's in trouble again. Wrapped up. Still on his feet. Going to be brought down back at the 15-yard line. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Kendrell throws a slant, caught. Jordan Smith makes the catch at the 42-yard line. What a catch by the freshman from Ridgeview High School. His 2nd catch is the Bulldog, and it's for a Bulldog first down. Richard Bailey's in the slot. Back to pass. Corey's looking to the right. Looking long. Corey's in trouble. Trying to buy some time. Shuffles it to Kendrell. Kendrell trying to get to the flag. Gets to the flag. 2 receivers each way. Shotgun snap, Corey, back to pass. Corey looking long, Corey throwing it out there. Got a man out there. Rakim White makes the catch up at the 40-yard line of South Carolina State. What a nice throw and catch from Corey Fields to Rakim White. And that is the end of the first half of play here in Orangeburg. Our score at the half is South Carolina State 21, Virginia Lynchburg nothing. All right, Coach, first half, Virginia Lynchburg defense went on the field first, and you pretty much controlled things along the line of scrimmage, which you hope you do, and you're able to do that.
It's generally our style that we like to defer and then give them the football, put our defense on the field first. Our defense really dominated this offense, so we got a chance to get some short fields because our defense kept pushing them, around and giving us the bill somewhere around the 50-yard line.
And you talk about dominating the line of scrimmage. The offensive line dominated the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, I don't think the running backs kind of cooperated. But they moved some people out of the way, and you were able to score in your first 3 possessions.
We were able to run the football some early, and not quite as consistent as I'd like to. And we hit some balls that gave us a chance to make some big chunk yardage. Went on 4th down a time or two. The early part of the game. I think we got to the point now where you never know if we're going to punt, but at the same time, we do like the idea of the fact that we got 3 good scores, to start the football game.
You talked about your captains today, Cam Johnson, of course, Chris Simon coaching that offensive line, and you wanted to put some responsibility on them and kind of put the game on their shoulders.
I did. Both those guys, I think, are really good football players, and they're starting to kind of come on now. Cam's really got another year or 2 left. Chris is in grad school. One from Sumter, one from Columbia. So both those guys are, I think good football players, and I think they, started to turn the corner a little bit today to see if we can get the running game going.
All right, now in the first half, the Bulldogs scored on the first 3 possessions, Coach, but then we went 0 for the second quarter and had some missed opportunities.
Yeah, and we had drop balls in there too. We had a drop deep ball, another kind of player too, that didn't quite work out for us, but from that point, I think that we probably tried to throw it around a little bit too much and couldn't figure out how to run the football. We probably need to run the football a little bit more at that point.
And on the defensive side of the football, Coach, you got some young kids. Micaiah Settles had a really good ball game inside and really stabilized that defensive front.
Right. Micaiah is a defensive tackle from AC Flora High School in Columbia, and we think a lot of him. We think he's going to be a good inside guy. DeJuan Barber, we got 2 good young, because Barber's also a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman who plays in the 2 big beefy kind of guys. So we got some inside guys in there. Ahmad Hall, one of our young defensive ends from down in Florida, who's a high school freshman also. He and Micaiah, both freshmen this year, seem to be coming on. So we think that we got a couple of guys that might be defensive front guys that could be good for years to come here.
You know, we kind of struggled a little bit, Coach, offensively, but Gavin Zimmerman and that special teams unit came together and made every opportunity.
Gavin made a field goal or two. He's a little bit slow. I like him to be. I think Central is probably working on right now trying to figure out how to block his field goals. But if he gets some time, you know, he knocks it through that pretty good. And in the last couple of years, I don't think Gavin's missed about one field goal.
You start talking about South Carolina State. Bulldogs led at the halftime 24-0. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more after these messages.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Prisma Health keeps South Carolina hearts beating strong. As the largest cardiovascular provider in the state and home to the only freestanding heart hospital dedicated to the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease, we provide the heart care you need. With more innovative treatments like LVAD, more specialists, and more locations closer to you, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the heart and vascular experts.
Hey, South Carolina, you can make a choice for your Medicaid health plan. Choose Healthy Blue. With Healthy Blue, your whole family is covered for free or low-cost checkups and prescriptions. Plus eye exams and glasses for kids and adults. Get all this and more from a plan backed by the Cross and Shield. The choice is easy. Get Healthy Blue now at choosehealthybluecom/SC and get more from Medicaid.
Yeah, when I first got to high school, my form wasn't really good. And so I had a couple of soccer coaches that used to kick, and they were helping me out. And then I went to some kicking camps that would help me out too. So that's when I really started working on my form and getting it better. Well, this summer I really started doing a lot of band work with my coach from back at Crestwood, Coach Newman. He started helping me out a lot. We really started back my senior year doing that. And I mean, you can also do a lot of like stuff to work on like your quads and like your calves and your core, because you get a lot of power from your core. So you can do a lot of like ab work, squats, calf raises, stuff like that.
All right, it's time for the Prisma Health Injury Report, Coach. It's not really a long list for the Virginia-Lynchburg game.
You're exactly right. Our main goal was to win the football game and to come out healthy. I think we may have had two guys that didn't play. Yancey Washington, one of our tight ends, didn't play. Jameer Benjamin, one of our corners. But besides that, our team is pretty healthy. So I'm looking to see if we can get all those guys up and ready to go this coming week.
Yeah, I made a critical mistake on the radio. If you listen to the radio broadcast, I was under the impression that Patrick Godbout, when he was thrown out of the game for targeting, wouldn't be available for the North Carolina Central game, Coach. But you mentioned me, since it was in the first half,
right.
He didn't play the second half of this game.
Best case scenario, if you're going to get one, toward the end of the second quarter. So you made almost all of the first half, and then at that point, then you go on about the task of sitting the second half, and then you come back the first quarter of the next game.
So Patrick Godbout will be with us when South Carolina State entertains North Carolina Central. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more after these messages.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals, offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Kicking off is Virginia Lynchburg from right to left. Singletary fields it at the 13-yard line, at the 15, at the 20, at the 25, at the 30. Spins at the 35 across the 36-yard line. Good return by Tarion Singletary. Play action fake, want to go long. Got Shaq out there, caught at the 25. Shaq at the 20, driven out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So another big reception. Throw and catch, Shaq Davis and Corey Fields. It's a good snap. Jordan gets it down. Gavin's toe is in it. It hooks. It is up, and it is good. So Gavin Zimmerman
stays
from
perfect.
28 yards out with 12:33 to go here in the third quarter. Our score, South Carolina State 24, Virginia Lynchburg nothing. 4th down and 8. Back to pass. Throws a slant. It's caught Richard Bailey. First down, Bailey breaks the tackle at the 25. Breaks free. They still got him by the jersey. Bailey fighting forward at the 17-yard line. And listen to the crowd appreciate the effort of Richard Bailey, who's not the biggest person on the team by a long shot. Fields. Back to pass. Looks right. Throws the screen left. It's caught over there. This is Juwan Moody at the 10, at the 15, at the 10. Moody at the 5. Moody slung out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Good effort by Juwan Moody. Snap's good, they get it down. Gavin's toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. Dyson Roberts knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And that is the end of the third quarter play in Orangeburg. Our score, South Carolina State 29, Virginia Lynchburg nothing. Shotgun snap, Tyrese drew him off sides. Going deep, throwing it out there. It is caught for a touchdown. South Carolina State. Hezekiah Massey from Tyrese Nick. 32 yards. And Bill, you won't find a prettier ball than that one Tyrese Nick just threw. And just like that, with 14:28 to go here in the third quarter, it's 36 for the Bulldogs, nothing for Virginia Lynchburg. Long snap count. Here comes pressure from the outside, from the backside. Quarterback's not going to get away. Back at the 4-yard line. First guy to get there for South Carolina State. Looks like it was Ricardo Sprinkle. Nick, straight drop back. Nick keeps it himself now. Tyrese Nick trying to make it happen. Tyrese Nick gets the first down and more. All the way up to the 40-yard line. Shotgun formation for Tyrese Nick. Nick in the backfield. Nick makes the man miss at the 35. Nick at the 30 gets the first down. At the 28 of Lynchburg. Nick, quarterback draw. At the 25, Nick cuts back at the 20, gets the first down at the 15, Nick at the 10, Nick at the 5. Wow, lost his helmet at the 10-yard line. Corey Fields takes the knee, and that's going to be the final play of the game. South Carolina State wasn't overly impressive, but did enough to win today. All right, Coach, second half, we began with possession, and, of course, you got back to the first quarter and got it moved right down the field.
We did. We pushed the ball down the field on several occasions. Didn't score very many touchdowns, but, you know, we kicked field goals. Gavin Zimmerman continues to be as accurate as all get out, which, you know, is good to have because down the road a piece, we're going to need that.
Now, Corey Fields had a pretty good ball game, Coach. He wasn't perfect on the afternoon, but he was on target more times than not on Saturday against Virginia Lynchburg.
Yeah. And we had another couple drop balls in the second half, but at the same time, Corey's coming into a point where now we've got to figure out if we can get him up over 50%. And he's still, I guess, hanging around the 47, 48% range. And if we could get him to actually complete 60% of his balls for this next conference run, then I think we'll be fine.
You start talking about quarterback position. Tyrese Nick came on and coached just like an old veteran that kind of coming in and getting on a bicycle. He just moved the football right down the field when it came
we
in.
wanted to give him a chance to get some work, and it's one of the kind of situations where I like to have some film out there on him. people need to prepare for him, that kind of stuff. That gives them something to do for the rest of their week's work. At the same time, Tyrese is always going to have a place in this offense somewhere.
You start talking about this offense and finding a place in the offense. Little freshman kid out of Ridgeview High School, Jordan Smith, came on from a slot position, made some big catches, one over the middle for a first down. It was so important.
Jordan is kind of the heir apparent to that Richard Bailey's inside slot position, and he's actually one of our Call Me Mr. scholars. He's going to be a school teacher in another couple of years, and he and Nawan Barber, both from Ridgeview, came out last year, are real close friends, and Jordan's parents have done a good job of kind of helping Barber do some things from time to time. So both those guys from Ridgeview High School are freshmen technically, and they played a little bit last year, but both those guys we think are going to be really good players here for years to come.
It's a good ball game for South Carolina State. Bulldogs come away with a 36-0 win over Virginia Lynchburg. No injuries really to talk about. So with that, we'll take a time out here and we'll tell you what is up next as it starts to get hot in the Mid-Eastern Atlantic Conference with the first conference game coming up, and it's a big one against North Carolina Central. We'll talk about it when we come back on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Why do we travel? Why do we fly? Are we called by the excitement of untold adventures in faraway places? Driven to shape the future of our world, or to share our world with future generations? We designed Columbia Metropolitan Airport for you, and her, and them. So when the day arrives for your next journey, we'll be ready to get you there. Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at TicketSmarter.com.
All right, Coach, North Carolina Central, we saw them Thursday night against Morgan State. I don't know if North Carolina Central was that good or Morgan was that bad, but we know Davius Richard is a bad boy quarterback.
He is. He went for a long one against us last year, like the first play of the game.
Second play of the game.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was somewhere in there. And
73 yards.
He's thrown the football accurately, and he's actually run the football very well, too. So we got our work cut out for us. And they hired Cedric Williams, one of the offensive line guys that played for us at South Carolina. He was on the staff at Georgia State and been around a good bit. And he and Deshaun Goddard, my offensive line guy, are real close. And he's done a fantastic job for them up front on their offensive front. So, you know, they've done a nice job of I guess, developing their run game. They can run the football. They throw it around pretty good, and Davius can really run the football. So it puts a lot of strain on you anytime you got a great quarterback run game along with a guy that can throw it.
You start talking about that, Coach, and of course you want to keep the football away. We talked about the run game. How important will your offensive line and their play into this game this week against the Eagles?
We got a week to get ready really better off to find our run game, and then at that point give ourselves an opportunity to keep the football away from Central a little bit, because if we keep giving it back to them the way that we've been doing in the past here this year, then we might be in trouble.
You know, Coach, they look at you as the dean of coaches in the MEAC, but it's got to make you feel kind of good when you see a kid like Trey Oliver become a head coach and really turn that program around, and he's tough to deal with.
Played at Central back in the, I guess maybe early 2000s, late 90s, somewhere in that neck of the woods, and been around for a while. Was at Southern as their defensive coordinator, but he's done a real nice job, and they seem to have gotten Central to the point now where they feel that they can compete with A&T and the rest of the schools in North Carolina for talent. So they're starting to really come on, and it's going to be really a tough game for us this coming Saturday night.
And he's talking about the game. It's an important weekend. It's Hall of Fame weekend at South Carolina State. And, of course, we're going to be inducting some folks into the Hall of Fame on Friday night. And, Coach, and one of the guys who's kind of a part of your legacy at South Carolina State was Malcolm Long, who was a quarterback who really left a mark on this program, indelible mark.
Long. Malcolm from Gaffney, South Carolina, is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I'm getting a chance to present him as his inductee that way. And we really had some good years with him back. I can remember going up to Appalachian State, some of those kind of places and playing when he was playing. So I'm looking forward to seeing all those guys that's going in this coming weekend. And it's a big weekend. We got the Hall of Fame. We got North Carolina Central coming in here. It's a big weekend. We gotta get some things done.
Folks, we're looking forward to seeing you. Hope you see you on Friday night for Hall of Fame. If not, at least on Saturday when the Bulldogs take on the North Carolina Central Eagles. First place really on the line because it's the first Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference game. It's still early in the conference race. But of course, we hope to see you next week. Also, right here on Valley Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.